Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the Champion Solutions Group MessageOps webinar. Today I am joined with Robin McCarthy and Kevin Vogel. My name's Chris Pyle, and what we're here to talk about today is really how to make the most out of your Office 365 environment. You know, for many time, there was a point where all we were worried about is migrating people to Office 365, and you guys were concerned about how do I get to the cloud. But now we're really here to talk about how do you unleash the business value of the Office 365 investment that you and your firm have invested in. And MessageOps and Champion, we want to make sure that we're helping you get the most out of your investment. Because the worst thing is, right, Kevin, is that you pay $1 for something, but you only utilize 20 cents worth of its value.
I wish most people were getting at least 20 cents worth. With the numbers we're getting back, it's a lot even lower than that.
Right. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing some real great basic tools that will show you some fantastic value. And the great thing is you own it all. You own all of this already. It's not like you have to buy anything else. You're paying for it in your Office 365 subscription. And we're going to be showing you some great tools that will make immediate business impact. Small wins, right, Kevin? Don't have to eat the elephant all at one bite. Small little bites, make a win and move it forward. I know many of the people that are on the call today probably are from the IT departments, and really what we want to do is help you be a hero within your office. We're hoping that you can take a few things away here that you can bring back to the lines of business that can make an immediate impact and provide a real hero motion within your organization. So Kevin, what's on the agenda today?
Well, as you know, we're going to be talking about forms. This is a new application that's available in Office 365, and I think that Robin will Robin will show you all the benefits you can get out of it. We're going to talk about flow, and this is really a way to automate a lot of the things that you do repetitively over and over again in your business and really help you utilize all the things that are available in Office 365. And then I think the big thing that they just released is Teams. Teams gives you really the ability to eat Office 365 in small little bites. You can start out with just chatting with people in your corporation, then you can start collaborating, then you can start sharing documents, and it's all in one interface.
Right, so Teams, Mike, that's Microsoft's answer to Slack. And Slack is really been a big winner out in the corporate marketplace as far as a chat-based collaboration platform. So Microsoft Teams, awesome platform, looking forward to that. And then we're going to talk about the new SKU that Microsoft came out with, which is the Microsoft 365 SKU. Just going to spend a minute. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that. And then we're going to spend a few minutes in the Microsoft CSP program that some of you who are on attendance today, thank you for being our CSP. And we're going to spend a few minutes for those who aren't our CSP, part of our CSP program. We're going to talk to you about some of the benefits of what CSP is and how Champion adds value. So the first up, right, is forms, and Robin is going to take over the forms demonstration for us today. Now, Robin McCarthy, she's responsible for our customer success unit, and Robin, I know that you use a lot of this, the Microsoft Forms in your day-to-day business, what you do personally.
Yes, what I've found, I use forms to measure customer satisfaction. I'm also using it to improve products or business processes here at the company, and I'm going to use it to organize company events. And I'll show a demonstration on how to create a holiday party survey.
Awesome! I can't wait to see it. So really, what Forms is at the end of the day, it's a way to create surveys and collect either customer feedback, team feedback, employee feedback, vendor feedback, employee satisfaction, organize events. It's really simple to use. It's modern, it's fresh, and we're seeing a great success with it early on.
And it doesn't have to be inside your environment. You can send this to your customers, your vendors. It really is not just the people that have licenses for Office 365.
Absolutely, that's right. And it's almost, I know many of you probably use SurveyMonkey, and you probably, we use SurveyMonkey, but we're starting to use a lot more of Microsoft Forms because it's included in the price, so why pay SurveyMonkey? And it's very easy to use and go through that. And it also, quickly, if you're out there looking to put out quizzes or test knowledge of your employees or prove that they learned something, it's also a great vehicle for that as well. So again, polls, either way, we're going to go through that really quick. And so right now, though, this is in preview, right, Kevin?
Well, preview for standard business. I think education, it's live though, right?
Correct. For your education suites, it's general available, GA'd already. For commercial suites, it's in preview, and that's in Office 365 Business Essentials, Premium, Enterprise E1, E3, and E5.
But it's fully functional though.
It is fully functional. They've just left it in preview while they continue to enhance the commercial aspects of the tool.
Right.
But so far, we've been using it numerous times. It works fantastic. So why don't we go ahead and make Robin presenter? And Robin, if you let us know when you got that, if you got the ball, if you would, and present.
There you are.
There you are. So, okay, so Robin, first off, I see that we're in Forms. How did you get there?
For me, I usually type in forms.office.com. But
what do you type in? Forms?
Forms.office.com.
Okay.
Or you can go to your app launcher and click right here in Forms.
Excellent. So very easy to get to. It's in your app launcher, or go to forms.office.com. And do you have to sign in to get to Forms?
As long as you're in Office 365, you will not need to sign in again. It's single sign-on with your credentials.
Okay, so it's leveraging Office 365's Active Directory. So your employees, nobody has to worry about logging into like SurveyMonkey or another survey form.
Correct.
So, okay, so we're going to create a brand new form. Is that what we're going to do?
That's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through a simple corporate holiday party survey. So
It's the party season.
Click on Form. You're going to type in your title.
That's original.
Okay, you can type in your description. This is for your whoever you're sending it to is going to see this. So I'm going to say you're interested in hearing of their suggestions.
Perfect.
Okay, we're going to add a question. Very simple. I'm going to make it a choice question. Question: should we have a holiday party this year? What's nice is that it's going to suggest some options for me.
Wow, so it knows based upon the question what type of answers. I see that.
Exactly. So I'm going to pick the yes and no. I'm going to also make this required.
Ah, I see.
Okay. I'm going to add another question. I'm going to add another couple of choices. I'm going to say, well, where should we have the party?
Great.
Okay. Now it doesn't understand what I'm asking really, so I'm going to have to type in my options. Let's see, we'll do the golf course,
Okay.
maybe. How about a restaurant? Okay.
So you're going to say rest stop.
How about a bowling alley?
Okay.
Okay. Or I can do an other. So when I click on the other, it's going to put it in automatically, and when my person that I've sent this to goes to answer, they'll be able to type in whatever they want.
So if the choices were not made, and you can have other, very simple. Okay,
Exactly.
great.
So we're going to do that. We're going to put the date. We can also do a date. What day should we have the party? Okay. And these are all required because I picked required on the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It's repeating that. How about a text, or sorry, choice? Will you bring a guest? Okay.
And I see how this one went ahead and it knew that you were going to either yes or a no.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then finally, text. We're going to say, how many guests will you bring?
And this is where they can just enter in a form. I mean, just start typing in.
Free form text.
Free form text.
If you needed more space, you would put long answer.
Gotcha.
Okay. And maybe, you know what, I didn't do a rating.
A rating.
Right? So I'm going to do a rating.
How was last year's party?
Oh, great question. Okay. And what you can do here is change it from star or number. I like star. I'm also going to put a label in here. I can say like one 1 star was real bad, and 5 stars was great. Okay. And maybe I want to move this up. I don't want this to be my last question, so I can just click the arrow here.
Oh, nice.
And move it up to maybe my second one after, should we have a party?
How was last year's? That's nice. Really
Okay.
easy. Okay,
So
cool.
very simple. What you want to probably do then is change your theme. Let's make it pretty.
Oh.
Let's put some trees around it or something.
Oh, I don't like the trees. Put the other one there. Yeah,
There
that's
we
better.
go.
There
That's
you
for
go.
work.
It's more corporate.
Okay. I can also click over here for more options. What I'm going to do is show you some branching.
Well, what's that?
So branching, what we're going to do is kind of like the if, then, there, where to go next. So on that, will you bring a guest? If they say yes, I want to go to the next question. If they say no, we're just going to end the form.
Oh, I see. So it's
Okay.
like if this, then that.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Okay. We'll go back. I can also, in my settings, decide who do I want to fill out this form. Currently, it's set to only people within my organization. If I want outside people, anonymous
Maybe I want to
responses,
invite some of our vendors or our customers to come.
there you go. So I'm going to switch over to anyone.
Okay.
I can also check if I want to stop this survey. Maybe I only want to know answers through the end of the week.
Wow.
I can do that. And then I'm going to ask for an email notification. Every time somebody fills out my form, I'll get an email as the author letting me know that somebody's answered.
So all right, are we going to send it to Kevin?
Certainly. We're going to share that. We're going to have a couple of options as a link, a QR, a code for a sway or a web page, and then email. Well, it's going to want to open my email, so I'm going to cancel on that. You can also share it as a template within your organization, and you can share it to collaborate as well. So you could click on this. I can add Kevin, or I can add you.
So can we send it? Can we send it to Kevin and have Kevin answer it, and so we can show the responses, or do we have an old sway you can? An old form you can show them?
Well, I'm just gonna. I would just copy it.
Okay.
Right. Yep. So here I can do preview.
Okay.
As the author, now I'm looking at what my person that I'm sending this to is going to see.
Nice.
So here's, the star, it's required. Here's your question. Here's number 5 that we did the branching.
Mm-hmm.
Once I click yes,
I
now
see.
that 6th question opens
I
up.
see. Nice.
So very simple, very easy. You can see it's on computer view, but you can also send this out and you can have a mobile view.
It's really sharp on the mobile too. Really
Yep.
nice.
It's very simple. You can do forms, or we have an example of a quiz, and I did a math quiz, but like Chris said, you can use it for any kind of learning that you're doing in your corporation. You do set up a point system. You can even show which answer is correct. This is when you're filling out the questions. In the preview, you'll see what your student will see.
Great. And what about the responses? Is there a way that we can show what so people filled it out? What does that look like?
Sure. So the responses you'll see here, we have, I've only did one response, but you can see the average time it tells you, and you can look at here your scores, because this is a quiz. You can review the answers, what people have sent in, and you can also open it up in an Excel.
Right.
And so Excel will open up and it'll give you all the timestamps of the people that have taken the quiz, and you can use that on the forms as well.
Nice. So Robin, can I go back and go into the forms, and did you do for the CSP new client order checklist, or the name? Can you click into that, or let's go back one? So you can have can you go back to the things? Sure. So if you go to the name contest, so I see here that we had a contest, right, for something that we did. If you could click on that. Yeah. So you can have as many forms as you would like here,
sure,
right? And you never get rid of them. You can always hold on to them, and they are in your individual forms that you created.
Correct.
And we can maybe click in the responses there if you don't mind. And in here we see we had 87 responses. 6 minutes and 49 seconds was the average time to complete this survey, and it's an active form here that's out there live. And then, you know, it shows, it's really cool the way it shows what the latest responses are and everything else. And if you wanted to drill down and look at all 87 responses, but it's great. It never goes away, right? It's always kept in a library up there in forms.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's great, fantastic, and it's a great product. We use it a lot. Very simple, and it's something that I think that our audience can really, you know, bring to their communications manager, their HR manager. Maybe they want to bring it to marketing and just educate them on what Forms is about and how to really unleash the business value. It's not that technical. It's very, very simple, but something that our brethren in IT should be bringing forward to the business leaders and showing them how to reduce their expense with third-party applications like SurveyMonkey. Because as you said before, it's a link. You can send that link internally or send it out and share it with the world.
Yep.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so Kevin, what you're going to go over next is so cool. And, you know, our mission here is to help you increase productivity, reduce cost, and mitigate risks. This Microsoft Flow really falls under the increasing productivity piece. And it's amazing after you guys and girls out there in the audience see what Kevin's about to do, I think you're going to run right over to Microsoft Flow and start creating these for yourselves immediately. So, Kevin, real quick, high level, what is Flow?
Flow is an automation product to help you streamline things that you do over and over again. So whether you want to synchronize files, you know, one of the things that people love about Office 365 is OneDrive. But OneDrive is really based around a single user. What you'd really like sometimes is to have those files in SharePoint or in a file share out there. So how about every time you create a file in your OneDrive, it synchronizes with a drive or a SharePoint library that other people have access to.
Wow.
Automatically for you. So you can set that up. How about when your boss sends you an email and you're not sitting at your desk, it sends you a text that says, you just got an email from your boss.
So you want to be responsive.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's from your boss, or maybe it's from a biggest customer, and you want to be known like, hey, if I get this email from this person, then text me, or then do whatever. So it's again another big if then that and this.
And approvals. That's another big thing. So you have a PowerPoint that you have to get your manager to sign off on before you can send it out to the rest of the company. Well, you can build a workflow that once you're done, you copy it into this file for approvals. It automatically sends to your boss, and he could be on his phone. He could approve it while he's on his phone. This is all mobile and everything else, and it really speeds up that workflow. And the nice thing is they have hundreds of templates pre-done, ready to go, that you can just start clicking on, add small amount of information, and it works out of the box.
So in other words, what we're going to see here is these templates. Like I see this template here. It says Save Office 365 email attachments automatically to OneDrive. So it says by Microsoft, and it's been used 103,000 times. So that's been downloaded quite a bit of times, this template. Kevin, before we keep going, I just want to let you know, if you have any questions, go into the chat window of
the question
window. I'm sorry, the question window. And, you know, just go ahead and we'll try to answer as quickly as we can as we see those. So we'll go from there. But let's go back and we'll try to answer them when we can.
Okay.
So, Kevin, we're going to go ahead. Are we going to jump right in?
We're going to jump right in.
So the first question everybody asked me is, just like I asked Robin, where is it? How do I get to Flow?
Okay. Flow can either be gone through right here. You can see that Flow is,
in the app
I
launcher?
went too far, in the app launcher. It's on your front page right here, so it's available to you right there on as an icon. Once you click on it, I just do it because it's just quicker, it's going to take you to the Flow homepage. The Flow homepage will first of all show you what flows you're using, and if you have teams already built up, and that's another thing we can talk about. But teams, you can actually build flow for individual teams. So for your sales department, for your accounting department, for HR, and so on down the line, whatever teams you create.
Wow. And so what's the templates there? Is that what you were?
This is, when I said that there are hundreds of templates, I wasn't kidding. So if we go in here, you can see that they'll actually have them by different categories. And you'll notice that some are by Microsoft, but not all of them.
Yep.
There's a lot of third-party templates that are now available, and there's more.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean, there's hundreds of them in here that you can start using, or you can actually build from scratch. It's really a simple way to do it.
And we can help you if you don't have the time, or you're looking for somebody to help you create a workflow using Flow. Give us a call. We can do that.
Super easy.
So I see here that you modified some yesterday, 22 hours ago, and we're going to go through some of this.
Specifically for this, so I said, you know what? If I move a file to my OneDrive, I want it to sync to a SharePoint directory.
Cool.
You can see that I did that, and it'll actually show you that the file was created, and then it was created in SharePoint. It was actually moved right to SharePoint. And I can go in here and actually see what the file is, where it's actually positioned, what the name of the file was, and all this information by just clicking a simple button.
Wow.
That easy. So it's super, super easy to do. So I also said, you know what? When Chris sends me an email, I want to know about it. So this, since yesterday, by the way, this is how you can see that there are quite a few here that, and I could say see all, there's actually more, but you could see that all of these, he emails me a lot, what can I tell you? So, but you can see that I can go in here and look at any of these, and they just pop up. You'll be able, of course, during a live demo, you know, this is, but normally you could see in here, but you can also just check your phone, look at your text messages, and it will show you every time I got an email from Chris. So
every time I sent you an email,
specifically to me, not to a group or anything else, but where my email address was on the address line, yes, then I get it, because you can do that. So the other thing that a lot of people are using is SharePoint. So what I did is I opened up a SharePoint library, and you'll notice the Flow is sitting right there.
So it's right in the SharePoint. So when you,
it's already there. I can click on here. I can create a flow from here, very simply. I can say, save my email attachments or copy files between. You can see that they're right in here, but I can just go in here and actually create one from scratch real easy. So I'm just going to show you how easy this is. So I'm going to create from a blank.
So this is a blank template that you're about to do, a blank flow, if you would.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to say, okay, so I want, what do I want? I want SharePoint, and I want to select for a selected item. So I can then, you'll notice that I'm not doing anything. SharePoint list. I want to add text to this, and just to say, testing. Whoops. And then I can add the next step and say I want to take an action, and I want to click on here. Well, you notice that this worked perfect when I tested it before, but sorry about that. No problem. So, but it really is easy to do, and maybe I should just start with a blank here. All right, so you can see that I can go in here and pick any site that I have here. So I'll just pick our Azure practice. I have a list name that I can go and pick from. Oh, of course, Internet Explorer stopped working. So, but you could see it is very simple to do this. Sorry that it didn't work the way it was supposed to, but it really is. I created those 3 yesterday in about 5 minutes each. So it's a very simple process to do. The beauty of it is you can go in and keep changing them. You can go in here and adjust these to whatever you want. You can turn them on and off.
You can share them too, right?
Absolutely. So here's the share button here. So you can add another owner of this. So if I wanted to now give it to Robin, for instance, and you'll notice that Robin's name comes right up, and I'm adding her to my flow. And now she has the ability to also go in there and edit all these also. So that simple to do, that easy to add just a person to it. I can also go in here and, like I said, you can export these so you can turn them into a template if you want to, so other people can use them and just tweak them a little bit. So if you create one from scratch, you can save it as a different name. So if you want to do that, so it's all built right in here. If you want to edit them, you just click there, and this will allow you to now edit the flow that you have here this simply, so you can get your managers, your profiles. Each one of these things can be done that easy to do. All right, so flow really gives you a lot of benefits. Like I said, the templates are there. There's also, when we talk about connectors, we're talking about Outlook and OneDrive and users and SharePoint and Twitter. But look, there are things that are way outside of Office 365. So if you own any of these, Bing Maps or anything, you can tie all of these connectors into a flow.
So I know a lot of people use Basecamp for project management as well, so you can connect Basecamp up into your flow as well. So some good, again, it's Microsoft's open. It's not just Microsoft product.
So remember I told you can move them to file shares? Well, one of the file shares you can move it to is Azure File Storage. So if you guys are an Azure partner also, you can see that there's a lot of Azure tie-ins here to build flows, to move information around about your Azure environment. So if you're running queries or you're doing logs, you can actually have them automatically emailed to someone right out of Flow.
Excellent.
Pretty cool product.
All right.
Okay, so that really tells you all that you need to know about Flow. So let's talk about Teams.
Teams, yeah. So Teams is massive, and I know that we've had a couple full-blown webinars and seminars on Teams. So we're going to just do this at a very high level. But as we spoke about in the intro, really Teams is a chat-based, workflow workspace in Office 365. It really ties together a lot of the social aspects of a Yammer, and also brings in Microsoft Groups and
Planner, OneNote,
all of it.
Power BI, all those things can be tied into it. Now, the one thing I will tell you, the other programs, Flow and Forms, are automatically will be posted in your application launcher. Teams has to be turned on in the administration portal. So if you guys have an administrator for Office 365 and you don't see Teams show up, that's because you need to turn it on inside the administration portal for it to show up. So to let you know that first off, right where we start.
Gotcha.
You'll also find out that there are a couple of different ways to access Teams. There's a full-blown client, which we'll show you today. That has the most options available for configuring, for adding programs, for adding people to your teams. But there's also a web-based, and there's also a mobile Teams application. So very simple to do, and I'm just going to bring up Teams here real quick for you. And this is the full-blown client. You can install it right from the Microsoft Store. It's available in there. So you can see that in the left-hand side here, you can look at your activity, and what this is going to do is it's going to see all the mentions or replies or other notifications. You can see chat. Now this has bots built in which can do auto learning and actually give you information, so you can see new groups in Outlook. This is all of this was brought by our T-Bot here. So this gives us information all about T-Bots, where you can build different teams. So we have an Azure practice team, and underneath the practice team, we have general. This is the
general
group that almost everybody. But underneath that, we also have a backup and a disaster recovery group and a security group that are underneath that have separate chats and separate
Are those called
files.
channels? Are those called channels?
These are called channels.
So you can have maybe like, if we were setting up something else and you wanted to have, let's say, your sales teams, and your sales teams are divided up. So let's say with sales teams, and you could have a sales team, and then you could have, that's the general sales team.
Right.
And then if you wanted to add a channel, you could then have like the north sales team.
Right, and the south sales team,
east or west, or
right, and you can add members to it specifically for that. So if you want to, you can see that I'm the owner, but I can go in here and add a member to this by just, oops.
Yep. Or you could go ahead and if you wanted to just keep adding, different channels, you could keep doing that underneath the general.
Right. So that way you focus, you can actually create focused areas inside a general team. And that way any information that comes in, because you could set up these T-bots and you could say, you know what, anytime there's cloud backup mentioned out on the web, I want you to post an entry for it. I want to see what's going on. So you can actually have this posting to your individual teams. It works really simple. Now, the beauty of this is I can add things like files. So I can add a SharePoint library to a team or a channel. So I can have specific information in a channel about backup, but a general about Azure in general. I can have projects. So this happens to be Planner that we're putting in here, and for some reason they're going to ask me to log in. So I can have a Planner session in here, and this is how Planner works. I can add all of these information tasks. So to do that, I can add a to-do here. Very easy, and just say test Azure environment. Right? I can give it a due date. I want it done by Friday. I can assign it to a member of the team. So I'll give it to myself. And now I can add another task and just keep going down the list. Okay, I want to test security. I want to test backups. I want to test all of these things. I can create individual buckets too. So this might be Azure 101, but now I want a new bucket that's Azure number 2. And now I have another bucket that I can start adding tasks to. I can also see if these are completed on time, if they're not completed on time. So very simple to do, very easy to build different ones. I'm just looking for a one in here that I have. Oh, under marketing here, I believe we have a whole bunch of stuff in here. So I can see all the different people that are in here. It's a little slow, but that's okay. And be able to see what they're doing. I can add more things, and you'll see that there is a list of products that I can add in here. So if I wanted to put an Excel spreadsheet that everyone can edit and add to, a PowerPoint presentation, Planner, Word, and even programs that are outside of Microsoft. So if I wanted to do any of these, like, any of them. So these, you can add these right to your plan. You can also, like I said, put a OneNote in here. So if you want OneNote to be your place where everyone's taking notes about the project and putting information in there, links, so on, they can do it here in a chat, or they can do it up in a OneNote. Now the nice thing is, and let me try to add, let's see. I'm in marketing. Let me go to one that I own so that we don't add people here. So I'm going to add a member to the team here, Robin. And there you are. And I'm going to add you. Okay, you're now a member. So now if I go in here and I can do an @ sign and I can type Robin here, and it should be, okay. Whoops, did I spell it wrong?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
ROBYN.
It should come up, but
No.
Oh, you're in. You have to go to the DocuSign. That's why.
oh, we're in the wrong one. Very good. I'm sorry. That
Which is a good point.
When you're in general.
Not, if you're not in that group or that team, you won't be able to pull me up.
And there you are. All of a sudden, look at that. And if you do an @, this will actually send Robin a notification that something was written about her in this. Welcome to the new team. Whoops. And it's done that easy. So nice thing is, hopefully Robin will reply to this, and you'll see that you can build a conversation. You can add attachments just like emails. You can put them, you can send them to URLs, portals, and different ones. And look at that. Oh wow! And you can even add emojis and different types of things in here. And you can see that there are. I'm surprised you didn't use the cat in the suit thing, because I know you love those things. But you can do rubber stamps, you can do monkeys, you can do, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that you can add, and, you know, memes that actually move. So if you want, you know, Griffin saying, way to go.
Yeah. So a lot of social aspects that's built into it. Yeah. So, okay. But again, I think Teams is so big, it could really take up a full, you know, day of training on it. But very, very hot right now inside the marketplace of Office 365 and a lot of our clients. And it really does look good on the mobile devices, and it works great.
So with that, let's talk about the new SKU. You were going to just give them a little quick education.
So I mean, just as a lot of you guys are our CSP customers, and we appreciate that. There, you know, Microsoft did come out with a new SKU, and it's called Microsoft 365. And what it comes with, of course, is the Office 365 SKU. The other interesting thing, though, it comes with Windows 10 in the operating, you know, as the OS.
Windows 10 Enterprise.
Yeah, Enterprise. So which is, you know, great. So you can pay for that as a service, and it also comes with Enterprise Mobility and Security. All built in to this brand new SKU. They have a business plan that's available right now in preview mode. It's a price of $20 per month, but it's only up to 300 users. So if you have more than 300 people in your organizations, Microsoft is going to have an enterprise plan for those users and companies that are over 300. That has not been announced yet. But if you would like, we have a really good blog that we set up that you can take a look at, and we've done a deeper dive into the Microsoft 365. We have been selling these quite a bit, and I think the big reason is because it's including the Windows 10,
right.
And it's a great option for customers who are running perhaps Windows 7, and for those of you who are still running XP. But the point being is that if you're considering moving from, you know, your existing Windows 7 OS to Windows 10, a great alternative is to do it through CSP, through Office 365, and, you know, put it as a bundle. This way, if you're hiring 10 people, you know exactly what you're going to be paying for that OS, and if you're letting go 4 people, you know, you don't have to pay for that Windows operating system anymore. So you're really paying for it as you're using it, unlike other things where you're buying and committing to, you know, multi-year contracts, and you know, you don't.
And it's an operational expense, not a capital expense anymore. Mm-hmm. So you're moving it off to that side of the board too.
So, which is great. So we're starting to see a pretty good uptick in that, for especially for the people who are considering moving from their existing Windows environment to a Windows 10 environment. This is another alternative as a purchasing SKU or vehicle to get to where you want to be. And I know we're coming towards the end here, so we got to talk about the CSP program. So the CSP program is, you know, really the way that Microsoft has let the partners now work with their clients. And really what that is Microsoft has basically said that, hey, MessageOps, you can now buy directly from us, Microsoft, and sell directly to your end user. And we handle all of your all of your support 24/7, 365. We have direct lines into Tier 3 at Microsoft Premier support. We have, God, we're so lucky, and thank you to all of you guys, but we have over 40,000 people now being part of the CSP program, growing every day. And when you come to be part of the CSP program with Champion and MessageOps, you get all these great free services, such as a quarterly security assessments. We do quarterly network assessments. We give you a whole platform, a portal, what we call our Office 365 adoption platform. Maybe we'll do a quick demonstration of that. Exchange Migrator to help you if you want to migrate PSTs to and from. You have a full-time success manager dedicated to your account. We use Password Sync if you're not using DirSync, and we also have our platform called CSP Boss that allows you to do your adds, changes, and removals to and from the Microsoft Cloud very easily. Customers love this. And what they also love is the billing statements that you get from MessageOps and Champion. Very clean, concise billings, that actually make sense of when and it gives you full detail of when you're adding or changing, people to and from your Office 365 tenant. We're always trying to improve, but right now the customers really enjoy the simplicity of the invoicing, the simplicity of the portal CSP Boss, and they love the free assessments and network assessments that we offer.
And we're always upgrading. I know we just came out with a new release with a lot of new features in it, right?
Yeah, so if you're presently buying from Microsoft today or paying Microsoft today, we'd really love the opportunity to earn your business with some of the great tools and great value adds that we have from that perspective. And now, really, real quick, we wanted to, Kevin, could you just jump into Office 365 adoption?
Sure.
So, the one thing that a lot of you guys have told us is the Office 365 is that most people don't have a single portal for all customers or all of your end users to go to for all things Office 365. So if we could go ahead and just hit that video real quick. So really, we give you a quick little video.
Office 365 is the office
awesome.
known
And it gives you a quick overview. What is Office 365? You have all these things around getting started around Office 365. You have quick start guides that we constantly are updating. So let's say you want to go to Planner, for example, and we have every quick start guide available that your teams within your office and can go ahead and maybe print out the quick start guide and put those up on their walls or whatever. But we're constantly updating these from that perspective. We have a bunch of how-tos. So a tremendous amount of how-tos that are whether it's Discover Skype Meeting Broadcast, whether it's Planner, Microsoft Teams, go ahead and click on one of those, and we have all the quick start guides, keyboard shortcuts. We have all these types of great things that are at your fingertips for your end users. Bite-sized video training that's available immediately, for all these different types of different aspects of Microsoft that are really easy. We have a Help Me section, which is really, really popular. And if you notice, Kevin didn't log into this. He didn't have to sign in. It knew who Kevin was. It knows what organizations he's with. And here's the top questions coming from our organization right now. And these are constantly changing based upon the questions that your company's getting. But maybe you're like, no, I just have a question. And you can type a free-form question. So maybe it's I'm a set of out-of-office reply. I'm just using that as an example. Out-of-office reply. How do I set that up? And this will go out and bring back 5 suggestions on how to set up an out-of-office reply, and also give you a video of how to set it up. If that's not good enough, you can say have help desk contact me, and then that will route to your help desk or our help desk or whoever's help desk you want. But again, very real real good self-service, helping you support your end users, getting them to get the most out of the product. And some of you might be saying, in the settings, you might say, you know what, I want to upload my logo. You simply do that. Keep going, and then you can check off, what you want displayed. You can just simply click on any of these and say, well, we don't use iPads, or I don't want to know about Exchange. And you can click and choose what you want displayed within adoption. And then we also send you tips and tricks on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis of how to run a better meeting using Skype for Business or whatever. So we are constantly sending you tips and tricks that we'll send them to you, and then you can copy and paste those and send them out to your end users. So, it's a great tool. It's free when you're part of our CSP program, and go from there. So, Kevin, I think we had some questions that might have come in. Do you want to take a look and see?
Yeah, let's take a look at those right now. So, if I go over here, just give me 1 sec. Where are we here?
Okay, sounds like you mentioned that they'll be able to sync OneDrive to a network drive. Is this correct? Is it possible to set this up as a default?
As a default for all of your users, the answer is yes. In other words, if you set up all users or domain users, absolutely. If that's what you want it done, all you got to do is set it up when you're building the flow. Let me just try to get all of these. Hold on, this one I can do. Okay, this makes it a little bit easier to read, Chris. Will this be recorded? Alec, yes, we are recording it. Can it sync Citrix share file? Well, it depends, Carrie, on where share file is being done. If it's just share file in the cloud from Citrix, the answer is no. If you're running Citrix locally in your data center, the answer is yes. So we would have to know where it's being run from, because we don't have access to the cloud infrastructure on Citrix, and neither does Microsoft, to be able to do that. But if it's in your data center, the answer is yes.
Well, the scuttlebutt's on the street that Microsoft might buy Citrix anyway, so
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that either, but you never know. But that's that's pure conjecture there. But I hear you. But good question, Carrie. Thank you.
All right.
So that's it. I know we wanted to keep it, to just about an hour, and I know we're coming up on that. So again, going back to the other thing that we wanted to talk about, keep going on that, was training. Many of you were asking about our Office 365 training platform. If you go to office365training.com, we have put together one of the most awesome pieces of knowledge around Office 365. It says 2,500 plus training tutorials. It's way up, a lot more than that right now. But it's everything from Office 365 to Windows, the complete Office suite. And it's something that has all the testing involved in it, quizzes, great reference points, and it's very, very, very affordable. And I know many of you guys have been asking about that. So if you went to Office 365 training, I think you guys will really enjoy this platform that we set up and spent a lot of time.
And you could build curriculum for each of your departments. So if you want like accounting to get much more Excel, you can go right here and do that, right? Yeah,
yes, absolutely. But we would really encourage you to take a look at Office365training.com, get a 7-day trial, take a look at it, and see all the courses that are available to you. And so just before we end, we really, really want to talk a little bit, Champion and MessageOps, we're big into Office 365. We've developed a whole SharePoint productivity suite. If you type into Google or Bing SharePoint productivity suite, you'll see what we've come up with our SharePoint intranet portal, our learning management system, our contract management system, and STEM, which is our basically our SharePoint consulting services. But great stuff there. Azure is red hot right now. We have one of 22 Azure MVPs that work with us. We're doing a lot of enterprise mobility right now with a lot of you who are attending this call. So really, we're here to assist you with any of your Office, SharePoint, Azure, and EMS needs. So really do appreciate that. and we'd love the opportunity. I think we have one question, right, Kevin, that we wanted to ask on a poll.
Yes, we
And
do.
we love the opportunity to earn your business as a CSP. If we could just maybe answer this one poll question for us.
2 seconds.
In 2 seconds here, it should be coming up.
There we go.
If you could just answer, if you would like us to speak with you about the opportunity, it'd be great. So we really feel that we could add a lot of value. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for the 1 hour. I know we had a little bit of technical difficulty. Sorry about that. What happens when you're doing live demos, but I'm sure anybody in technology knows that it doesn't always work perfectly. I do want to, again, thank you for all the customers that work with us today. We appreciate your business very much. And for those who are not our customers yet, we'd love to work with you and look forward to talking. Kevin, any final words?
No, I think we covered it all.
Robin?
Nope, thank you everybody for attending.
We appreciate the business, and really take some of this back to your business units. Give us a call. We're glad to help you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.